I'm with Mike Packer of Lockheed Martin, and we just came out of the council meeting. And can you just tell me some thoughts of what your takeaway from today is, and what is still keeping you up at night in terms of a critical issue in manufacturing?
Yeah, a couple of the critical issues that were discussed last year, they've been on the agenda and part of the discussion for the past few years. One is the next generation leadership for manufacturing, and the other is the new workforce, or the evolving workforce as it starts to come to realization. A lot of that's underpinned by rebranding manufacturing across the board and really building the attraction from very young ages that manufacturing as a career is an attractive career, puts people in a good position for life. The part of the discussion at the council this year was, should those be merged, the leadership and the workforce? I personally don't think they should be. I think they really warrant individual focus on each of those issues. The leadership, and particularly the next generation leadership, and the basic concept of operations and the way they want to operate the business, it really starts with the leadership defining that and then attracting a workforce that can be melded into that culture and operate in that kind of an environment. The workforce, separately, has a number of other issues that has to be addressed. One is the new technologies that are incumbent in manufacturing, are really integral to manufacturing throughout all industrial sectors. What kinds of skill sets, really the ability to work together to solve problems, a lot more of a social fabric in terms of the new workforce. One of the new topics that was brought up this year, and it really resonated with me, is the customer experience, and really a focus on the customer relationship and their experience as they relate to us as manufacturers. For us, as you well know, in Lockheed Martin, we have multiple customer stakes. We have the users that actually use the products in the field. We have the acquisition people that run the programs for the Department of Defense and for the various civilian agencies. And then we have the government itself, at large, in terms of congressional, who pays the bills for all of those products. So we have to address each of those experiences differently. I think this really opens up an aperture for some pretty rich research and analysis in terms of how do we develop that kind of an experience that becomes mutually rewarding and delivers the kind of value that our customers, each of those customers, is looking for.
Right. And one of the things that came up today as well was the complexity that sort of underlies everything. Is there any way to deal with complexity? Does it just have to be built into the strategy of everything you do?
Yeah, I think there were several people made the point, you really need to simplify wherever you can. And I believe that you really need to simplify complexity of the processes and how we operate the business at every single opportunity that we can, instead of making it more complex, more bureaucratic, removing the bureaucracy, removing the complexity of how we conduct the business, because typically the products and the relationships have their own complexities. I think that's where we need to focus. The complexities that may be required for different performance features and characteristics of whatever product or service that a particular entity is delivering to their customer, they're going to be inherent. They're going to be inherent complexities because you're adapting to multiple customer stakeholders, you're adapting to different environments, so you've got to deal with that. That becomes a way of doing business. So rather than put complexity into everything, simplify everything you can, push decision-making down, empower employees to make day-to-day, minute-by-minute decisions. The people that are closest to that work, give them the power to deal with that. That alone will remove a lot of the complexity.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike.
You bet.